Hello and welcome. We are here with the review of the verbal section of the Wipro National Talent Hunt, which happened today. And in the verbal section, there were 10 questions, and most of them centered around vocabulary, the proper use of vocabulary. So we had questions about finding the proper antonyms and also the synonyms, word contexts, and we had a couple of fill in the blanks as well. So one of the questions in the verbal section was a vocabulary question. It asked us about what's the opposite of the word gigantic, and the options that were given were huge, invisible, zero, and tiny. And of course the answer is going to be tiny, D, because that's the exact opposite of the word gigantic. Now, besides these vocabulary questions, there were also a couple of questions, as was discussed earlier, about fill in the blanks, and it was a choice of the correct preposition, sorry, not the preposition, the correct conjunction. So the question was, there is a huge traffic jam dash of heavy rain. The options given were as, since, because, and for. And over here the correct answer is of course because. There is a huge traffic jam because of heavy rain. Now the pattern for this was out of 10, there were only 8 for vocabulary and 2 for fill in the blanks, asking about use of prepositions or proper adjectives or proper conjunctions. But not a lot of questions were there on grammar. In fact, there were no questions on grammar for today, which doesn't mean that tomorrow it's not going to be there. But one thing is for sure, that it is mostly centered around the use of vocabulary. So people with a good vocabulary would stand a good chance in these tests. And besides these 10 questions, there were also a set of reading comprehension, and the passage for the reading comprehension was pretty lengthy, and but compared to the lengthiness of the passage, the number of questions were only 3. So it would make sense to manage the time if we can tackle the reading comprehension first, because the reading of the passage would take a lot of time, and so it makes sense that we read the passage first when we have proper time on our hands, when we are not hurrying up towards the end, that we tackle these questions first, and then we come to the vocabulary, because vocabulary doesn't take a lot of time to solve. So that's about it for the review. Thank you so much.